While dramatic scenes are unfolding on the streets of the French capital this hour for the fourth straight weekend, Paris is a city once again on edge. Its downtown core in a virtual shutdown as anti-government protesters known as Yellow Vests clash with police. And as you can see, protesters have been overturning cars, even setting one of them on fire today. Thousands of riot police have been deployed throughout the French capital. Responding with water cannon and tear gas, they have also made several hundred arrests on the streets. Now, several of those arrests happened outside the Louvre Museum. It's just one of the city's world-famous landmarks, shut down by authorities and given police protection today. Others include the Eiffel Tower and the Notre Dame Basilica. Authorities took the closure decision after last week's graffiti attack on the Arc de Triomphe. Well, our Thomas Daigle is along the Champs-Élysées right now, another famous spot in Paris and a focal point for today's protests. He brings us the latest.
It's a breezy evening, and that's a good thing here, Michael, because the breeze happens to be blowing the tear gas away from the crowds here, and it's not sort of getting stuck in our eyes and our throat as it was earlier today, but thousands of people in their yellow vests for Fourth Saturday demonstrating here. You might be able to hear them near the Arc de Triomphe yelling and chanting for President Emmanuel Macron to step down. There have been cars set on fire. We saw a garbage can set on fire a little earlier, but again, police have changed their tactics a bit this time and have managed to calm things down a bit, Michael.
Calm things down a bit, but the protesters are still on the streets. Talk to us about the demands that they're making here, Thomas, because this appears to have spread beyond anger over the proposed gas tax hike.
Yeah, it started as a demonstration movement against the fuel tax hike proposed by the Macron government that was supposed to come into effect in January. That was canceled this past week, but every person we've spoken to here in Paris this weekend has said essentially the same thing. This is about more than just that fuel tax. This is about the president, they feel, doesn't care about the working class here in France and how tax hikes in the past have made it so that their buying power has gone down steadily for years and years. And that's, I mean, people are very passionate here. They're yelling, trying to get their message across, sometimes using some pretty vulgar language in regards to President Emmanuel Macron. He has said that he has not said anything today. In fact, he has not addressed the nation, and that is something that they have found very annoying, that they would like to hear from their president directly. In fact, most would like him to resign, Michael.
Well, these ongoing protests have evolved into a wider protest over poverty and inequality in France. But the initial spark was, as we heard, the government's plan to increase the price of diesel, all part of its climate change objectives. Now, people are angry about those prices even before the new taxes. In fact, in 2018, the average price of diesel has gone up 16%. In Canadian dollars, it went from $1.88 per litre to $2.25. At one point in October, it spiked at $2.32 Canadian. Now, Donald Trump sees the riots as a chance to criticize the Paris Agreement on climate. He wrote the following just moments ago: "Very sad day and night in Paris. Maybe it's time to end the ridiculous and extremely expensive Paris Agreement and return money back to the people in the form of lower taxes." The U.S. was way ahead of the curve on that and the only major country where emissions went down last year.